Good morning. Welcome to another video. The drive up here wasn't that bad. It is early January, and where I'm at right now, the high will be about 19 degrees, and right now it's 14 degrees, but that never stopped me. Perhaps I was dropped as a baby a couple times or have a wire loose, but I'm going to fish. Most people ski, I fish. So you can have your crowded ski resorts. I'm up here on one of our home tailwaters, and couple firsts today. It is the first of the year. It's our first video of 2025. It's our first time using Colorado fly angler flies. There will be a promo code at the end of this video. Stay tuned for that. And I got a new net. My wife's parents, my in-laws actually, who I get along with, got me a new net. I got a nice net. You guys always make fun of my Amazon Walmart net. I got a fish pond net now to match my fish pond sling bag, and it's winter. It is winter fly fishing in northern Colorado, and we're going to throw some small midges and betas at them. A few things going for me. There's clouds, partly sunny, but there's some clouds. Makes you think betas, and winter makes you think midges, and you could lob a streamer through an area like this too. But we're going to fish a tailwater, and while the main freestone streams like the Poudre River are frozen over, you know, these tailwaters stay open, so let's go fish. How pretty is that? I mean, I have fun even if I get skunked. This is a tricky day. These conditions, maybe some lethargic fish, but still historic. First video with CFA flies, Colorado fly angler. Throw little betas and midges at them, see what happens. I'll show you the exact flies if we get some fish today. I have fun even if I get skunked, which thankfully is rare for me, but 1 to 2 fish today is the goal of any size. We're going to throw some small things at them and maybe a streamer, but see what happens here. Let's fish. So make no mistake about it. Every few casts, I'll be taking ice out of the guides, and if I feel like I'm getting frostbite, go warm up in the truck. So who knows how long I last, but done this before, and it's doable. It is doable. It's just tricky. And I'll be darned if there's not a rising fish right here. Threw on a little dry fly just to see. Almost looked like he took an emerger, but I'm gonna see if we can get a January dry fly bite. Check out this little muskrat right here. He's gonna pop up. Fish on. Bit of a grind today, but it always is in the winter. This little bobo is right out of these riffles here, and we're gonna net this one because this is a historic fish. It's our first fish ever caught on a CFA fly, and hopefully the first fish landed with my new net. And Mr. Chris, what did he take? Let's get my hand wet here. And the Diet Chocolate Foam Back produces the first fish I've ever caught on a CFA fly. A gorgeous, gorgeous little rainbow. See you, buddy. Sweet. So there you go. Size 20 Diet Chocolate Foam Back. And I'm running a split shot between the flies. And on the bottom is a CFA Titan Gray, if you can see that. There's a little bit of blue there. Absolutely gorgeous. You can see how that'd be effective. And it's funny what they say about trout. We know that trout see in color, and we know that they see particularly well in kind of a blue or purple spectrum. So this guy is called a Titan Gray from CFA, but there's some blue in there. There's a Titan Black too that he's got, but it's interesting to think about what trout see underwater. I think in a murky lake 20 feet down, everything is kind of gray, just like it would be for us. But they see color just like us. They just see different wavelengths, but I believe they see blue to purple pretty well. So if you like blue and purple, that could be why. And that gets us on the board with Colorado fly angler flies. That is awesome. Set a couple fish of any size was the goal today. As I worked this little spot here, that fish came right out of this faster water, these riffles right here. But that can be a grind in the winter, you know, in January. If you've hit Deckers or Cheeseman Canyon lately, you know what I'm talking about. You get these cold days in January. It is not easy. It is not easy at all. Still fun, no matter what. Especially that fish right there. My first one on a CFA fly. First video coming up with CFA flies. But yeah, a 1 or 2 fish day in this spot on this tailwater in the spring, summer, or fall, and I might be kind of disappointed. But a 1 or 2 fish day in January when the high is 19 degrees, I'll take it. I will take it. So that's so awesome. See if we can get 1 or 2 more before we go. I had to go to the truck a couple times just to warm up and avoid frostbite. I probably spent more time clearing ice out of my guides than casting. So yeah, it's no joke out here, but sure is fun. Fish on. Number 2. Are we going to go multi-species right off the bat with CFA flies? We are. Oh, let's go. Let's go. Oh, we got a beautiful brown. It's a multi-species day here with CFA flies. Look at that beauty. And oh, this one took the gray titan. Look at the colors on that Colorado brown trout. Gorgeous. See you, buddy. CFA flies are apparently pretty deadly, even in the toughest conditions you'll face all year. Tell you this much, one thing we've learned is that I have not gotten bit in a deeper, slow-moving run, and I haven't gotten bit in a pool, but I'm getting bit in fast water and riffles and oxygenated water that's apparently bringing some food in. So, and that's not always the case in the winter. You might find them in, you know, deeper pools or deeper water, but they're shallow today. Right here, this water is extremely cold and they are shallow. Very cool. Sometimes it really varies. Something that I'm doing today too, I've got 5X Tippet, which is almost too thick, but it's again, it's all about the dreaded D word and drag and having a natural drift. And you know, the science and the evidence actually tells us that fish see 4X as easily as they see 5X and 6X and 7X. There's a refraction to your line in the water that they see. So make no mistake about it, the trout see your line. So you don't need to go as thin as you think with your leader and tippet. What thinner line does for you though is makes it easier to get a drag-free drift, like I'm doing now while I mend. So that's what thinner line does. It's a more natural presentation. It's not so much that they won't see it. Trout see your line. You know, just shoot me a message if you want to know where I, you know, found that and where I found that science and that evidence. But we actually know that about trout. And another thing too is, don't think for one second that fluorocarbon is more invisible than monofilament. you know, even if we're using like spinning gear, it's not. There are differences between fluorocarbon and monofilament, but visibility to the fish, they've proven is a non-factor, literally a non-factor. But I find that very interesting, how many people use ultra thin tippet so the trout won't see it. But trust me, they still see it. If you get more fish on the ultra thin, it's likely because you're getting a better drift under the surface. So just something to consider. I only go ultralight tippet if I'm chasing high country brookies, you know, or bluegill, or just extremely small fish. This would be a good little Euro nymphing spot for those of you that like to do that. I've got a circle indicator on now, but it's obviously not scaring them. That's another thing that actually the evidence and the science and experimentation is showing us, that whether you use yarn or circle indicator or anything, the fish see it. The fish see it, and they see it all the same. What's interesting is that obviously the indicator like I'm using now is a little bit more splashy, so you might want to consider that at a place like Cheeseman Canyon. I go yarn at Cheeseman Canyon because the fish are so savvy and so wary there. I don't want my indicator splashing the water. Here, it doesn't really matter. I'm in very loud riffles to begin with, but fish see indicators is kind of the same. You know, it may bother them, it may not, but there's no difference between yarn and a circle indicator like this, other than your presentation and how subtle you can land that on the water. Because, you know, oh golly, that was a good hit. Gosh, he slammed that for a small fish. I actually jumped. Let's go. We found ourselves a pattern now, and golly, what'd this little Bobo take? Oh, let's go. The Diet Chocolate Foamback is in the top of the snoot of this one. What a sweet catch that was while I was talking. Show off my new net here. Let this fish get his wits about him. And that flat bottom, he can move around and get that water through his gills and get his wits about him. That hook was driven in the top of the snoot. I'm going to let him recover for just a second before I let him go. Pretty little rainbow. Fish on. Oh, he came off. That's okay. Little guy. But I could tell he had the bottom fly, so that's add another one to the CFA Titan Gray. So once again, guys, we're gonna show you a discount code for 30% off a one-time purchase with the Colorado Fly Angler, and it's just Coach Steve, all one word. I'm not coaching today. I did have some kids at a tournament this weekend, including my own 11-year-old, and my own 11-year-old made the quarterfinals of the boys 12s of a pretty major tennis tournament, so that was cool. So, but I am obviously not coaching in this weather because I'm the public parks guy and I don't have indoor courts, so, which is how I like it. But no coaching today, so we're fishing. And don't forget to check out coloradoflyangler.com, sign up for his newsletter, and use the code Coach Steve for 30% off one purchase. The flies that are working today It was a grind. I mean, his flies are incredible, but I still had to try a few to figure out what they wanted and find the right pattern in the right spots. Obviously this little honey hole here, but it was a grind. But the flies that have caught all the fish so far today are what he calls the Diet Chocolate Foamback and the Titan Gray. And you know, tomorrow could be a different combination, but you know, obviously tiny midges, betas, simulations, and small flies, bumping it off the bottom and setting the hook on everything is what has led to the fish. Oh, Chris, I should tell you that the muckraker, which I thought was a beta fly that I was maybe testing, but let me know if I'm incorrect on that, but the muckraker missed a 16-inch brown about an hour ago, but I didn't even have time to turn on the GoPro. But without question, a 15 to 17-inch brown on the muckraker that I missed. It was my fault. Sometimes it's the fish's fault. But that one was my fault. I had a stretch there where I didn't get many bites, and it was a complacent hook set. It happens, but good intel for you to have fish on. Let's see if I can actually land this one. I know you don't need a net this size, but I'm just kind of having fun with my new net that I just dropped, and CFA flies, and that's the bottom fly, as you can see, which means, whoa, scrambly fella. This guy took the, all right, come on, buddy. This guy took the Titan Gray. Just perfect top of the snoot hook set, and there you go. And that one choked the Titan Gray. You guys yell at me if I don't get my hands wet, and I always do. What I think people don't realize is the abrasion to the slime coat is what really hurts these guys. And that's actually the bottom of the mouth, but see that Titan Gray there in the bottom of the mouth. But again, it's the abrasion to the slime coat that hurts these guys. So if you drag this guy up on the bank, up on a sand or gravel bank, you drag him on the bank and hurt his slime coat and then get your hands wet, you probably killed the fish. So yep, keep getting your hands wet, but be careful of their slime coat. That's all I'm going to tell you, is be wary of their slime coat and keep them in the net, keep them out of the water. Don't keep them out of the water for long, I should say. Now it's literally like absolutely fascinating. How many fish can I catch out of one hole? Like, there's just so much noise here and commotion with the riffles and the bridge right here that they're just not scared, and they're obviously just stacked in here. But I'm literally like intrigued now how many I can catch out of one hole on these CFA flies. And there's another. This is crazy, absolutely insane right now. We'd like to find his older brother, but we will take him, gladly take him. And that's the top fly. So chalk one on the board for the Diet Chocolate Foamback. And oh, you won't believe the colors on this one. Oh, is that a pretty fish? Golly, I love these guys. Top of the snoot with the Diet Chocolate Foamback. So a lot of times, at least on this stretch of this tailwater, this guy's older brother or father is in the pools and the deeper runs. I just wasn't getting bitten those today, and that's one thing you got to figure out when you're angling. Those were not producing today, and so the shallower, faster water and riffles is where they were today. So but yeah, no, I'm probably not catching a big one out of this spot, but I'm sure catching a truckload of them now. Let's let this guy go. But boy, this one has some look at the colors. Ah, buddy, look at that. That's just gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous colors. Look at that fish. Swim off, buddy. There you go. See you, pal. Wow, we had a pattern there, didn't we? That was fun. Oh my gosh, that's so fun catching that many fish in really, really tough conditions. I think if I had a streamer maybe in a pool, maybe catch a bigger one, but I love all fish equally. I love catching small fish. And that's the thing about this channel. I show you guys the good days, the bad days, the great days. I'll get just as excited for small fish as I do the big fish that I catch. So, man, these CFA flies worked. So, we just had to figure out where the fish were. Missed a bigger one in a deeper run, but you know, once we got that going in the riffles, it was just crazy action. Probably could have kept doing that. I am so cold, but that was fun. Yep. Check out CFA and Colorado Fly Angler, and remember that code Steve to get 30% off a one purchase, and it was the Diet Chocolate Foam Back and the Titan Gray that pay the bills today. And Chris, I got to get some streamers from you, because I think that might have been a way to get a bigger fish out of here. I did miss a bigger fish, but that's okay. Like I say, I love all fish equally, and you should have fun catching fish that size too, especially in these conditions. I said a couple was the goal of any size, and we got quite a few. So appreciate you guys watching this. We will catch you on the next video.